Hello and welcome back to my podfic. This will be the reading of After the Fall, chapter 6, and finishing it. So it's only part 3, I think. It's only part 3. This one, I think it only has 3 parts, since it's pretty short. So I might combine it with a double upload for chapter 7, part 1. So will be the reading of chapter 6, Promises in the Silence, part 3. But from After the Fall by Innocent with one N underscore reader. Now, please enjoy whatever this is. I haven't read it yet. And yeah, it's recorded like basically right after this. Right, no, not this. Right after the last one. So my voice might be a bit sore and I might dissociate a bit, but who cares? The grind never ends. Chapter 6, Part 3. Promises in the Silence. Dick and Wally and Midoriya moved through the narrow corridors and elevated platforms, each step echoing softly through the vast space. The middle walkways groaned under the weight of their boots, and from time to time a drop of water would fall from somewhere high above, vanishing into a distant echo. For Midoriya, every detail was almost overwhelming. A living labyrinth everywhere, where every second seemed to hold a secret or a story. As they descended one of the side ramps, the ambient light dimmed even more. The ceiling, high enough to swallow entire buildings, seemed to disappear into the darkness. It felt like walking into the heart of something ancient, for the cave itself seemed to watch those who passed. Dick paused in front of a control panel, running his hand over the worn keys. He sighed, signaling the other two with a brief wave. "Let's check the vehicles," he said, his voice calm, but trying to carry a tension he couldn't quite hide. Descending into one of the underground storage bays, the three of them came face to face with a collection of Batmobiles, covered in heavy tarps. Each one representing an era, a mission, a memory. A thick fabric slid to the floor, revealing a car with simple, elegant lines, far from the armored, intimidating version that would come later. The matte black paint seemed to absorb the cave's dim light, emphasizing the rounded corners of its long hood and low cabin. At the front, two round headlights looked like watchful eyes, and the narrow grille resembled the subtle smile of a predator lying in wait. There were no wings, no turbines or visible armor, only the clean design of a vehicle built for speed and discretion. The wheels with polished metal rims reflected the light as if holding onto the shine of countless nights spent on Gotham's night streets. It was a car that carried the elegance of a bygone era, but also the shadow of the battles it had faced. Wally let out a low whistle. Now that's presence. No matter the time period, this would always make someone think twice before coming up against Batman. I was one of the first. My father, Dick's voice faltered, and he closed his mouth before more words could escape. For a moment, he stared at the car as if the black paint held memories no one else could see. To him, it wasn't just a vehicle. It was one of the first time he had felt like part of something greater. He remembered nights when Bruce, even more serious than usual, would adjust the car system in silence, while Dick, with his short cape and colorful uniform, tried to follow every movement. The weight of those memories settled on his chest, and he looked away as if afraid that letting one detail slip would reopen an old one. Midoriya, silent, took everything in. Every vehicle, every weapon on the shelves, every suit hanging on the wall was a mark of a story, A battle of a hero who might no longer be there. It's impressive, Midoriya murmured, lightly touching the cold metal. It feels like it can come to life at any moment. Everything here has a story, Dick replied, stepping back and looking up at the high ceiling of the cave, where the bat symbol was carved into the stone. Eternal, indestructible. While Robin and Midoriya inspected the vehicles, Wally wandered toward the black, moving quickly until he stopped dead in front of an old costume locker. Inside was the classical Robin uniform, the yellow cape, the red and green tunic, the green gloves. He picked up the mask and turned to Dick, smiling with a nostalgic glint in his eyes. "Hey, remember this?" he asked, holding up the suit. Dick stared at her a few seconds, then let out a short, bittersweet laugh. "Can't believe I used to wear that," he said, walking over and touching the suit gently. "I look like a colorful pigeon." Wally chuckled and Midoriya smiled faintly, even if he didn't fully understand the weight that uniform carried for them. It was more than clothing. It was the beginning of everything. Dick took a deep breath, then closed the locker with what like someone closing a chapter in a book. "Let's go. We've got what we needed." Before leaving, Dick searched one of the compartments and pulled out some regular clothes, handing them to Midoriya. "Here, so you don't have to keep walking around in those hospital clothes." "Thank you," Midoriya said, accepting the bundle. They were simple: jeans, a black t-shirt, a dark jacket, but after being adrift for so long, they felt like armor. Once they had changed and prepared the supplies, non-lethal weapons, medical gear, tools, the three of them stood before the chosen Batmobile. "This one's fast, durable, and intimidating enough to keep people at a distance," Wally said, running his hands across the hood. Perfect for getting to Star City and making it clear we're not here to mess around." "It is," Dick agreed, his voice firm but tinged with lingering melancholy. They approached the bat symbol carved into the stone wall for a moment. No one spoke. The symbol seemed to watch them in silence, unmoving and eternal. The cold cave lights cast long shadows from its edges, like open wings covering the entire ceiling. Dick kept his gaze fixed, feeling the weight of every night that emblem presented. Not just for Gotham, but for him. Wally, standing beside him, crossed his arms, as if he could feel the gravity of the moment too, even if he tried to keep a casual stance. Midoriya, on the other hand, had no memories tied to it, but he understood the power a symbol could carry. Quietly, he compared it to the emblem he had once worn in his uniform, a knot tied in his throat. For a moment, no one moved. It was as if they all understood, without saying a word, that they were standing before something greater than themselves, and that somehow it was now a part of them too. Midoriya glanced at Dick and Wally from the corner of his eye, then looked back at the symbol. "I'll honor this," he thought, clenching his fist. The soft sound of footsteps echoed on the cave's metal floor. Alfred appeared in the distance, his posture impeccable and polishing a cloth still in his hand. His eyes swept over the prepared Batmobile, the organized gear, and the three young men standing together. "May I ask," he said, his calm tone lined with concern, "what exactly is the reason of this sudden departure?" Dick hesitated, exchanging a quick glance with Wally and Midoriya. "It's an important matter," he answered carefully. Don't worry, we'll be back. Albert's brow furrowed slightly, a mix of worry and resignation. He stepped forward and rested a hand on Dick's shoulder. I know there's no point in asking you to stay, but please take care of yourselves. If possible, bring yourselves back in one piece. Wally tried to lighten the mood with a grin. Don't worry, Alfred. We'll be back before you start missing your. We start missing. We'll be back before you start missing your tea. Interesting, Mr. West. It's impossible to find anyone who drinks as much tea as I prepare. The butler replied with a faint curve to his lips. He then looked at Midoriya. Young Master Midoriya, do not hesitate to ask for help if you need it. This house may not be yours, but for now, it is the closest thing to a home we can offer you. Midoriya nodded, moved by the words. With one last wave, Alfred stepped back, letting them go. The sound of his footsteps faded into the cave, with the silent worry lingering in the air. Dick took a deep breath. Without looking back, said, Let's go. They climbed on into the Batmobile. Dick took the wheel. Wally sat in the passenger seat, and Midoriya settled into the back. Looking at the window at the dark cave they were leaving behind. The engine purred to life. The vehicle glided up the inclined ramp, and in seconds, they vanished into Gotham's night, heading for Sarah City. The beginning of a new mission, and perhaps a new future. And that was the end of this chapter, of chapter 6, Promises in the Silence, from After the Fall by Innocent with one underscore reader. I've been saying it so often that I already remember how to say the author's user and all that without even looking. So yes, already if there's a couple voice cracks, I need water after this. And yeah, if I remember in one of the I don't remember which comic, but this is not Dick Robin, this is Tim Robin, like Timothy Drake, Wayne Robin. He once got a I think, I don't remember which one of them actually. I just remember they had a team. So I don't remember which Robin since I saw this a couple months ago already. So Robin got a Batmobile, and his teammates asked, "How did you get this?" And he said, "The batarang budget is larger than most assume." So yeah, it's kind of funny thing about it. Even though knowing that in this fanfic, nor Tim, nor Jason, nor Damien, nor any of them are actually Robin. Only Dick is. And so yeah, this was the end of this video. Go and support the author, Innocent with one underscore reader. I'll be drinking some water or some liquid or something. So yeah, see you in the next video. Please like or subscribe or something. Well, please subscribe actually. I want to actually have people see my videos since, also anytime I put up a schedule so that when I finish a video, I put it up for to post on a specific time, so that I don't have to remember to post it. I just need to remember to post the AO3 chapter. So yeah, enjoy. And please, I know I've even gotten for YouTube to recommend me my own videos. As you can probably see in my community posts, but yeah. So please, I want to see other people getting recommended my videos. Please, please. Anyways, yeah, no, that is an overdone joke. I'm not gonna do that.